All right, so this video is going to be a good explanation of what you're supposed to do exactly with the To Kill a Mockingbird essay assignment that is going to be posted by the time you're watching this video. So I'm on my iPad and I need to access Schoology first and foremost because I have to get to our class. So this is says block 2A, but whether you're in my 4B or my 2A, it's going to be the same thing. So I'm going to open the e-learning folder first. And on my view, it says unpublished. Students cannot see this material, but it'll be published by the time, again, you're watching this video. So there's this assignment here that says TKAM, Essay Working Outline. That's what you're going to have to click on. So I'm clicking on it. And mind you guys, the way you're going to see it through my teacher view is a little bit different than the student view. For example, these tabs up here where it says assignment, in progress, and submissions. That's not what you guys have. I think you have only two options, where it's like assignment and something else where you can work on your essay. But what you guys need to do is open that assignment first and foremost. There's a brief explanation there that says, this is the only document on which you will work on your essay. This is how I will keep track of your progress and be able to grade each part that you work on. Make sure you are always working on the document that is color-coded / highlighted. At the bottom, there are two attachments. The bottom one is really important. The one that has a Word document is just a backup of this outline, which is this. So you don't really need to click on it. But first, we're going to click on the PDF that's down here. So I'm going to open it up. All right. It looks intimidating because if you see at the bottom, it says 13 pages. Most of this, however, is just examples on what you need to work on for the To Kill a Mockingbird essay. But what I want to do is actually walk you guys through the assignment so that you can see and understand what it is you're supposed to be writing about in the first place. Okay? So, To Kill a Mockingbird essay, there is a note on plagiarism at the top. Please read that on your own. Basically says do not plagiarize. The consequences aren't the best. Assignment instructions. In the novel To Kill a Mockingbird, the mockingbird is a symbol for characters who suffer the loss of their innocence. So why is it a sin to kill a mockingbird? In a 5-paragraph essay, explain how the mockingbird represents 3 of the following characters. So at this point, the first step is you got to pick which 3 characters you want to write about in your essay. And these are your only options. You could either write about Jem, Scout, Bill, Tom Robinson, Mayella Ewell, or Boo Radley. And whichever 3 characters you pick, obviously in a 5-paragraph essay, you have 3 body paragraphs. So each body paragraph will be about 1 character each. So pick wisely. That choice is up to you. This part walks you through the structure of the 5-paragraph essay. The introduction paragraph, that's where you give context for the reader about the essay. Keep in mind, imagine your essay doesn't exist and I don't even know it's going to be on To Kill a Mockingbird. You need to explain what To Kill a Mockingbird, what the novel's about, what happens briefly, and you got to answer that question where it says number 2. Explain why it's a sin to kill a mockingbird. What does that even mean? Explain that. And then the last sentence of your introduction is your thesis statement. That's a 1-sentence statement of belief where you incorporate the main arguments of the essay as the last sentence in the paragraph. Body paragraphs. They're basically identical, and they're all written in CECEC format. Claim, evidence, commentary, evidence, commentary. So you need 2 pieces of evidence. Each focuses on 1 character and how they represent a mockingbird. It's symbolic, right? They're not literally birds. What's the symbolism behind it, which I basically tell you in the introduction. And you got to use 2 pieces of evidence, text evidence from the book. I'm looking for quotes. We've worked on that the whole school year, so I want you guys to be doing that. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge, but you guys are up for this. So body paragraph 1, 2, and 3, it's all the same format, and then you get to your conclusion. You summarize the arguments you make throughout the essay, and then 2, you restate the thesis statement, but in a new way, to emphasize the overall argument that the reader of the essay needs to understand. Make sure you use specific examples from the book to support your reasoning. This means you must use text evidence and parenthetical citations, aka page numbers, inside of parentheses. to show on which pages you found the evidence used. Watch out for errors in spelling, punctuation, and grammar, and use MLA formatting. What's MLA formatting? Don't worry about it. I will walk you guys through all of that. I want you guys on your own time to look through the grading and the rubric. This is how you get your grade. It looks complicated. It looks a little bit intimidating, but it's really not. Your goal is to try to get all of these advanced proficiency, and there's different criteria. The first three are tied to our critical learning standards, our CLSs. Things like how you cite appropriate textual evidence. CLS 5 is the way you write arguments to support claims with reasons and evidence. And CLS 6 is conventions of English, which is basically, do you know how to write in English in a really good way? That's basically that. And the last one is miscellaneous formatting. Make sure you look in this box to see what I'm looking for. But in the end, there's going to be another video in which I walk you guys through how to get all of that right so that every single one of you is going to get that score on your essay. Okay. This essay is out of 80 points. You'll get a letter grade in the grade book, but that is how it'll end up working out. I wouldn't dread too much on the grading and the rubric. Okay. Moving on to page number 3. Oop, there we go. The assignment you guys are actually going to be working on is going to look like this. It's going to be this color-coded outline, which if you guys did the TKAM sample essay assignment, you're going to know that it's going to look familiar because I asked you guys to color code, highlight, annotate that sample essay using these colors. And if you notice, the colors are repetitive because the colors signify the structure of the essay. For example, the thesis in the introduction and the restated thesis in the conclusion. They're both underlined so that you know in each of those you're going to have a thesis. In the body paragraphs, you know your claims is always the first thing of the paragraph, and that's in yellow. And then you got to follow it up with a link and evidence. So that's in green and blue. And after you give me evidence, you need to give commentary. That's your analysis. Why is that evidence important? What's important about it? What does it prove? You got to explain that. And then it repeats link number 2, evidence number 2, and commentary number 2. Because that's your second piece of evidence you have to give since it's a CECEC. Lastly, don't forget every body paragraph needs a good concluding sentence. Don't just end awkwardly in the middle of you giving analysis of something important in the paragraph and then boom, you start a new paragraph. That's awkward. You gotta finish that sentence off. So this is why Atticus is so, whatever. You gotta do that for body paragraph 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Let's see what some of these other pages are. I told you it's 13 pages. It seems overwhelming, but it's not. This is an example essay that I included that is basically nearly 3 pages long. It's not on the topic you're going to write about, but it shows you how to format the essay. If you need examples of how to link into text evidence, you see that line that starts with, for example? That's the start of a link. For example, when Scout asks Atticus why he is taking the Tom Robbins case, he says, comma, and then the quotation starts there. And when it ends, you have your page number from the book, where that quote comes from, with a period at the end. This is how you do parenthetical citations. So you could refer to this essay to look for those examples on how to write a really good essay. I encourage that. Let's go to the next thing. This is what your essays are going to look like at first, guys, because you're going to work on it little by little. And today you're going to start with the introduction paragraph. So as you work on the assignment, it's going to stay highlighted, and it should stay highlighted so that you know what parts are what. Your context and thesis come first. This that's completed is literally this essay, but broken up into this color-coded outline. That's why I want you guys to do it, because I know it looks overwhelming. It's so many colors, but if you understand what the purpose is, you're going to know why it's color-coded, and it's going to help you stay organized. So make sure you don't delete the organizer. You only work on that document and nothing else. I'm sure you guys see how it still says claim, link 1, evidence 1, commentary 1, all of that. Well, let's go to this page here. This is after you turn all of those sections on the outline into actual paragraphs. You have the section headers still, but now all of those little extra things got deleted so that you can form paragraph. It's starting to look neater, which is pretty good. And that's the steps I will walk you through in another video. And the last thing is you get rid of those section things, and then you turn those paragraphs and you combine them all into what looks like an essay. It's not double spaced yet. The color, we didn't get rid of it. The underlining, we didn't double space it, but that comes last. So most of this document is honestly just examples for you guys to see, but that's what I want you guys to focus on. Make sure you guys go over this, the instructions over and over again as needed. Okay, I know that's a lot, but now we got to get to the next thing. This is where you actually work on the assignment. This blue document, you click on it and you open it in the app, and this is what comes up. All right, the first thing that I want you guys to do, I don't know if it's going to work on your guys' end, so if it doesn't, I'm sorry, but I'm going to demonstrate this. I want you guys to go wherever it is saved in your Google Docs or your Google Drive. For me, it's right here. And I want you guys to do this. Click on these 3 dots right there. Click rename. And instead of keeping where it says first name, last name, I want you guys to, or last name, first name, I want you guys to do this. And keep it all caps. You'll do your last name first, Ramirez, and then you put your first name, comma, my first name is Edgar. So I rename the document so that it's mine. I want every single one of you guys to do that, okay? When it's time for you guys to actually start working on your essay, you'll obviously click on this little pencil feature, or you could double tap the screen and the keyboard will come up. And for example, if I'm going to start writing the thesis or the context, I'm going to say, this is the context of the essay. And this is the thesis. You guys see how it stays highlighted? That's exactly why I want you guys to keep this. Because that way, it's going to be impossible not to stay organized. And organization is the hardest thing when writing an essay. A lot of people like to wing it, but it's not an insult. You guys are freshman students. You're not expert essay writers yet. And this is the first essay and only essay you're giving me the whole year. This is the most important assignment of the whole year. So this is the #1 thing you guys are going to have to be working on over the next 2 weeks. Nothing else. There'll be some no writing, but the focus is the essay. All right. I think this video's gone on long enough, but all this is going to be on Schoology, TKAM essay working outline. It's going to be published. But that's what I want you guys to be working on. If you got questions, comments, concerns, email me at eramirez@d211.org. Otherwise, that's all I've got for you guys today. But please, please, send me emails so that I know exactly what's going on. If you have any concerns, don't email me when it's too late. Be preventive. Email me ahead of time, okay?